do. What's up? Nothing? Can't hear me yet?
No, yeah, no, I can hear you. I don't know. It always
Oh,
change. It always changes my microphone input anytime I log in, despite the fact that I always change it.
is it the default set differently in Windows? Because you can go to your Windows audio settings and set your headphones and microphone to default, and that should make anything else that goes to default, go to the selected ones. But, you know,
I'll go change it eventually. I haven't
eventually.
even opened it. It's just kind of one of those like little dumb
Yeah.
little annoying things. It's not even an
Yeah.
actual problem.
Yeah. Yeah. Uh, it's gonna be a video game day. I hope you're prepared, Manny.
Okay.
We'll see how it goes, I guess. Let me run the intro. Good morning, everybody, or good afternoon by the time this actually gets up. Welcome to the Daily Cup of Genre here on the Genreverse Podcast Network and YouTube channel. We're available on all of the big popular podcast apps. Give us a follow if you're watching on YouTube. Please do hit that red subscribe button. And thanks to everyone that has so far, all 607 of you. And we really appreciate it. We also got our website, lrmonline.com, where you can go find all your entertainment news needs and some interesting opinions out there. So yeah, welcome to our third show for the week. We're trying to go 5 for 5 this week because my OT is for the moment not weekly anymore. So yay. I mentioned it at the beginning that it's going to be a video game day because, well, that's what's on my mind. But one thing I know for sure that's on a lot of people's mind is the upcoming Mario movie, Super Mario. I'm interested in the execution of this, and we got our first official look at the style of the world via a poster released in advance of the New York Comic-Con premiere of the trailer on October 6th. Manny wrote this up on our website. It's available there, but if you're watching on YouTube, you can see the poster right now. Manny, I think it looks just aesthetically looks good. It looks like a Mario game, legit. What do you think of it?
First of all, Lies Gig actually wrote that.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
Um,
Way to go, Gig.
We really haven't had anything like this before, so I feel like the bar set kind of low. Just because there's excitement that we're gonna get to explore kind of the world of Mario in a way better way than we have in the past.
Than the old Bob Hoskins movie.
Yeah, and what I'm very curious about more than anything else, because also we don't often get to see kind of like a 3D world when it comes to Mario. To kind of see the mushrooms and everything like fully, rendered in a 3D spaces. That's kind of weird.
A lot of the games have been 3D recently, but yeah, there's a lot of 2D.
I take it back because we did have Mario 64, which was
64, Sunshine, Galaxy, Odyssey.
I'm wrong. Yeah,
I mean that's what it kind of looks like to me. Is
I'm just old,
Odyssey.
Though.
Oh, I get it, man. I still go to Super Mario World on the Super Nintendo. That's where my mind first
went.
Picture.
Yeah, I remember when N64 dropped, and obviously that was one of the first games. It was blew everybody's mind. And then Taco Bell also had the N64 toys. It was.
I don't remember the toys.
It was a fun time. I was in high school, I believe. I think I was in high school. So anyway, Mario's always nostalgic regardless of one way or another. But so the thing I'm most curious about is what are they gonna sound like, because Mario's always super cheesy when his lines, and they're always kind of like just like really,
and they're very few and far between,
right? Because even like in Luigi's Castle, like but I get it because you have to like translate it to like a billion different languages.
I think it's also to keep the character
a little more ambiguous.
Yeah, so you can project yourself more, so you don't feel as if you're playing another character. You know, maybe, but I
know
a lot
Satan. Not today, Satan.
I know a lot of people were upset that they don't get the original voice actor to say it's a me or let's go, and
it doesn't work.
I didn't want that in a movie for Mario. I don't want. And you couldn't have it just silent, and that's why I think Link would be a very, very hard character to do, you know, in a Zelda movie or anything like that, because he doesn't speak, and then giving him a voice is going to be interesting. But Mario does speak, and how he speaks is not necessarily 90-minute movie material or even 80-minute movie material. So I'm interested at how Pratt will approach this. You know, Sonic had the benefit of his cartoons to already give people, you know, the idea that Sonic is very vocal and speaks like an average, you know, American, if you will. I know Sonic's a Japanese created character, but again, the cartoons that most people here in the North American market recognize, of course, is, you know, those cartoons anyways. So I'm interested into how they're going to how they told Chris Pratt to execute this. I mean, really, honestly,
I was actually just more annoyed that Chris Pratt got the part for it. I was like, really? Out of anyone you could have chosen to voice Mario, Chris Pratt was the guy. And nothing against Chris Pratt.
I like Chris Pratt.
It was just,
for the most part.
I think it was just at the time the Tomorrow War had just dropped, and Jurassic World was around, and then he also had that Amazon series coming up, where he was the
like the
Marine
SF
or something,
guy or whatever. Yeah.
So it was like, why is everybody casting Chris Pratt for everything right now? It's like, and so I think that was my gripe with it at the moment. Not that I actually, you know, like, whatever. It's it's a voiceover. Who cares?
Yeah. We'll definitely talk about the trailer on Friday. I'm sure it's hitting, like Gig wrote on the article, October 6th at 4 p.m., which is tomorrow. So yeah, we'll talk about it here on the Daily Cup of Genre, and I will do my absolute best to get you guys a Genre Shot trailer reaction as soon as it's available online. If it's available online tomorrow, I'm sure it will be. But yeah, Mario. And the reason why I said that it would be a video game day, Manny, is because I wanted to chit chat about video game movies in general, and just kind of like their, you know, awfulness in general, why it's so hard to make them work, and how we had one straight up failure and one relative failure, depending on who you ask, even though it's apparently getting a second season of TV series based on games this year. We had the Resident Evil canceled by Netflix, and then Halo, which got a lot of mixed reception. It was not very well received here at Genreverse, and LRM Online, but it's getting a second season apparently. So yeah, man, I think it's easy for me to say my absolute favorite video game movie of all time is the first Sonic the Hedgehog movie. I think that's a wonderful family film, a wonderful all ages film. It executed its intent very well. I liked Detective Pikachu. That was also really good. But when you start looking at the list,
video game movie though.
Yeah, I mean, it's Pokemon.
Yeah,
I mean,
if a card game more than a video game.
The video game came first.
Did it really?
Yeah. Yes.
Oh.
Video game, cartoon, card game. So yeah, it is a video game movie. Plus, Detective Pikachu itself is its own video game before the movie. So not just like the story that they used, but a Detective Pikachu game did exist. So yeah, that was also adorable and really showed you could you could do live action. After that, man, what? Mortal Kombat, maybe the original Resident Evil. I'm looking at the top grossing, and I'm not trying to
Mortal Kombat
pick them
was
in
good.
any order. Which one did you prefer? The first Mortal Kombat in '95 or the remake?
The remake was I thought was
Remake
done really, really well.
Pretty well. I agree.
The original one, I don't know. There's a nostalgia to the original one.
Yes.
And then
this is why the song was in the
right.
in the remake.
And then the second one is just so bad that it's good.
Oh God.
You know?
No, it's just bad in my mind.
It's terrible, but you know, you watch it kind of the same way you watch Batman and Robin.
Yeah.
For you watch it for the train wreck that it is. Hell, yeah, sometimes you just can't turn away. This is the way it is.
You know, looking at like money made by these games, these movies these games become movies. Dude, like Sonic the Hedgehog, 319 million worldwide. That's it. Uncharted, 401 million worldwide.
Uncharted wasn't that bad. It was kind of fun. You know,
okay. I haven't seen it yet.
For what it was, really, and kind of understanding what they were trying to do with the game. I'll put a Uncharted not at the top, but it, like thumbs up. Like okay, this was a good video game movie.
Yeah. The Resident Evil movies, of course, made less and less as time went on. Though
I think
the first one's a good zombie movie.
I agree with you. The first one's a good zombie movie. I don't think it's a really good Resident Evil movie. I think the most awful. Resident Evil movie would be the second one. That's the,
you said that's
the
one
that's gotten the closest one that's gotten more to the video game.
I can kind of see that.
Kind of like, you know, you have a Jill Valentine and you still have the main, and then you have Nemesis kind of showing up every now and then and taking people out. I thought that one was the closest that it's gotten to like to what I remember like from video games. So I liked it. That one out of all of the films made is probably my favorite one. If you're gonna ask me which one my favorite out of all of them. And then of course you have the train wreck that was Netflix.
Oh God. And the train wreck that was Welcome to Raccoon City.
I still haven't seen that, and I'm
honestly
kind of okay
should have just I know, right? Which honestly should have just been called Resident Evil Raccoon City. Oh my God, guys, I'm an anime watcher. I'm sick and tired of all of the long ass titles there. I don't need the North American market doing it somewhere. You guys can localize titles, cut that shit down, okay? The problem is, man, is we all thought, like I had said, that TV shows would be the way to go, and yet we really haven't had all that much success on the TV side either.
The problem is, sometimes this happened with Halo. You get people working on projects that don't even like the game.
Yeah, that's true.
Like I knew that was going to be a train wreck as soon as they started asking the cast and everyone. It's like, hey, how much Halo do you play? And they're like, well, actually.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, okay, yeah, this is I'm off. And it's a shame. It's a shame because I really like Paulo Schreiber. I think he's great. I've interviewed him before, and I thought you know this could work, but I think that the difficulties with adapting video games is that there's nothing ever wrong with the story that the director and the writers are telling because it's their story. But in video games, every video game is a personal journey.
Yeah.
The way you play a video game versus the way I play a video game versus the way person A or B plays a video game is always different. So I think that's what usually makes video games special, is that it's a very personal experience.
Yeah.
And it's a very it's about overcoming a variety of challenges whether it's puzzles, whether it's boss fights, whether it's just getting around and accomplishing things in Minecraft. It's something very, very personal. So when someone does their story on how they interpret the game, I don't ever think that you have a clear thumbs up with everyone as to
you're gonna piss off someone.
someone
That
or a
makes
large group,
sense.
just because it's not, it's such a me thing.
Mhm.
And that's how it should be. That's how it's supposed to be. It's just difficult to then showcase it one specific way, and then release it to the masses, because it's like,
Yeah.
it's then you're being told how to do it. Then you're being told this is the way the character is. Period. Almost like you try to canonize it, but of course it's just an adaptation of it. So
And with so much money going into things like Halo, Hollywood wants to try to make it seem like a more mainstream thing. It is interesting looking at Rotten Tomatoes. An editorial on there had listed some of the top rated video game shows, and the top 3 are all animated. 2 of them, well, one is straight anime, being from Studio Trigger. The other one is from Powerhouse Animation, which is done in a kind of hybrid anime and Western style, and Powerhouse is here in, I think it's in Texas, if I'm not mistaken. I might be wrong, but anyways, the one that's straight anime being Cyberpunk Edge Runners, I can attest to that being freaking amazing. Cyberpunk actually started off as a tabletop RPG, think Dungeons and Dragons, but Edge Runners is the direct prequel to the 2077 game. Castlevania follows the same family and characters from the games, but has found its own little niche. I am one that played Castlevania as an action adventure game, not really caring too much about the deep lore, other than I'm a Belmont usually, and I'm trying to kill vampires. But I know that it was a good series, and many people loved it, even those that did seem to be big into the lore. Then the other big one that did well was Arcane. I'm not a League of Legends player. I have not finished that series. We watched one episode. It wasn't that we didn't like it. It was just life got in the way. But the only live action one that's got a half decent score is The Witcher. And I'm not a big fantasy guy, so I watched most of the first season, kind of fell out of it just because it wasn't hitting me. But it wasn't bad. It's just not my thing. Have you watched Witcher?
yeah,
Christine
I
really
I
liked
like
it.
The Witcher. That was good. Second season I kind of fell off a bit. That's interesting. I forgot about that. Also, we can't talk about successful movie video game adaptations into movies without also talking, or mentioning at least, Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
I mean, that
Yes.
it was a comic book first. I mean, they had games, and it was all like video game references, like the comics.
Mhm.
I love that movie. I love
Yeah.
that movie.
And my
I
daughter
love that
was
movie.
obsessed with that movie for a few months. Anywho, oh geez, I forgot what I was talking about.
I don't know, Scott Pilgrim.
No, right before that.
Oh, we're just good, bad ones.
Oh yeah,
The
right.
Witcher.
Yeah, Witcher. No, I thought that was done really well. Like I said, I kind of lost interest in the second season. Not really sure why either. It was just kind of sometimes a lot of things to watch, and then you table things and then don't go back to them. I barely started watching Cobra Kai last night.
Season 5.
Yeah, barely.
We got 3 or 4 episodes through, and then kind of fell off.
I got through 2 last night, and then actually I watched on a side note, I watched Terrifier last night. Jesus fucking Christ, that movie is gory as hell.
Terrifier.
Yeah, it's like it looks like a clown, I think. But it's like a gore classic.
Interesting.
And it has a second one coming out this year, which at like over 2 hours, almost like 2.5 hours. And I was like, what are you gonna do for 2.5 hours? Like, that's gonna be like, oh my god. Anyway, if you see the character, if you look it up and you see the character, you'll at least recognize the face. And it's one of the it's Jesus. Anyway, back to video games. Yeah, I think Sonic so far has kind of taken the top spot of kind of the best adaptation that's done well. It's got a sequel.
Yep, and getting a third, or is set up for a third. I don't know if it's been officially.
You know what I don't understand is at this
how it worked.
No, I know how it worked. It got released right before the pandemic.
Yeah,
and not to saying it wouldn't have done well, but it was kind of one of those things where like, yeah, this is all we got, and it was able to get a little bit of steam that way, and then it was moved right to streaming.
It was so good,
and then it just actually happened to be good. Yeah. I think that you had the right cast with I always forget his name because I remember him from Parks and Rec as John Ralphio.
You talking the voice of Sonic?
The voice of Sonic.
Yeah, he was on I forget his name, Schwartz, right?
Yeah,
Ben Schwartz.
Schwartz, thank you.
Ben Schwartz, because he did DuckTales as well, which is great.
Everybody loves DuckTales.
The reboot is the absolute best reboot remake of all time.
Look at you enjoying reboots.
Well, that's a good segue to our next topic, which is why we need to stop with all the damn video game remakes. So there was the gameplay trailer for Dead Space, horror. Wrong window. A horror survivor video game set in space. It was a great game. Came out a while ago in the 2010-2011 range, maybe a little bit before. I have no issue with remasters, like when you take an existing game and you upscale it, you clean up the graphics. But remakes, on the other hand, are starting to get out of hand. We can look to the Call of Duty games, which both Modern Warfare has been remastered and remade in the last 5-6 years, and Modern Warfare 2 now. You had remasters for Last of Us, and now remakes for The Last of Us. Sony is rumored to be working on a Horizon Zero Dawn, the first of the Horizon games, which I absolutely adore, love it, play it, it's great. To remake that for current gen consoles. Here's my issue with that Manny is, and I'm a guy that of course played Final Fantasy VII remake. I will be getting Rebirth. I love it. I think it's great. But that's also a 25-year-old game. It was 2 years old when the remake finally hit. And it's not the same as a game that was on the last generation, Horizon, being remade freaking 5-6 years later. And that's, again, it's a rumor on Horizon. But even with The Last of Us, you're still looking at a game that's not 20 years old and doesn't really get anything out of a remake other than nicer graphics. I had mentioned this with Jonesy that it's different when a game can benefit from not just increased graphics, but the increased capabilities of modern gaming tech and consoles. You can make the world bigger. You can dedicate more time to character moments. You can put in more music. You make the world, like I said, bigger, more vibrant, more real. Games that came out 20 years ago or more they can benefit from that a lot more. What do you really get out of remaking The Last of Us? It's not a massive game like a Final Fantasy. It's got its open world, of course. I'm not saying that it's small, and it's got, you know, textures and bad guys and good guys. The only thing you really get out of the remake is a facelift, and it's not, and it just had a facelift with the remaster. And what this does, one, people are gonna buy it, and you're gonna pay for the essentially the same damn experience that just looks a little better. And it looks a lot better for some of these remasters. Some of them not as much. I mean, think about it. The PS4 is not a bad system. You can still play it today. Horizon, both Zero Dawn and Forbidden West, look fine today. But you're gonna go out and pay for it, and you've already played it, you know, and beaten it, and it's not like it's getting a whole brand new slew of features. It's not like taking a game that was little blocky 3D characters on pre-rendered backgrounds walking around on 2D like Final Fantasy VII. I don't know, man. It just, I want more new games. Like this feels like such a cash grab. It feels as lazy as just, you know, remaking another 80s film, or doing even soft reboots. And like I said, I get that there are times and places for these remakes, and this is not counting remasters. Remaster all you want to a degree. I think it was ridiculous to remaster something from the 3 to the 4, but whatever, PlayStation. But this remake thing, man, it also keeps the companies from working on other projects.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And I don't know about you guys, but I like new stuff more. I like Barney Stinson's new is always better. That's not always true, but I would love some new experiences, you know? I don't know. How do you feel about that, man? Like a game that might not even be 10 years old getting a potential ground up remake.
I don't worry about it because I just won't play it.
Well, I mean, I'm not going to buy Horizon either, but yeah. I would like Horizon 3 maybe, you know what I'm saying? Or a new game.
Yeah, full disclosure, I don't have the time for them anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So there's certain games that I've benefited from remakes and re-releases.
Yes.
The Assassin's Creed line is actually one of them.
They got remastered.
Yeah. So and I've been able to enjoy them on the Switch, and it's on the go, which means that no matter where I am, no matter what I'm doing in my insanely busy life, I can have a few minutes to just sit down and enjoy that. With that said, I finished Black Flag, and I've been warned to stop.
I don't know. I heard Valhalla is really good.
Yeah, but I may have to skip a couple of games because apparently things go downhill from there. Which actually also kind of pertains to your point, is then some of these games like Assassin's Creed, not God of War, they take their time with that, like Call of Duty, that's what I meant, then they're rushed, and then you get every year you get like another one, and the next thing you know, it's like the quality is crap. And it's because the
graphics quality good, quality of the game
quality of the game specifically.
yeah.
So it I mean, does it have to do with the fact that some of these people are, you know, let's push out more games, so let's lower the quality of this one, let's re-release this one, and then that way we can have more product out in a lesser time. Let's look at how many years it takes to get like from one God of War to another. Like it takes a very long time.
Or Final Fantasy or Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah. Those are other great examples. It takes a long time. Why? Because there's like so much time and detail that are put into it, and if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. And then you get like other games that like are released that should never be released. Cyberpunk, for example, it wasn't ready, but you released it anyway. And are we ever gonna get Grand Theft Auto 6? Probably not. They're gonna keep re-releasing 5 until that one is That one is the
That is
worst example.
That absolutely. And I love GTA 5. Don't get me.
Yeah,
I've actually been
but the thing
back
is,
in
we
a
played
kick
it for
for it.
so
But
long.
yeah, we've played it for so long.
We did like really.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and so it kind of, yeah, it sucks. I know that I really benefited also from the re-release of BioShock when they
The
released
remasters.
the remasters. My daughter did too, because we were able just to get it all in one cartridge, because Switch still uses cartridges. Yep. So you know, it's a kind of give and take. The one that I really enjoyed were the re-releases of Resident Evil, despite the fact that I had played them when I was younger. But
those remakes, the second one's phenomenal. Yeah.
Yeah, and so they work. It depends on depending on the game they work. But yeah, if you have a game that was just released and you know, a system before, and maybe not.
and like I said, their remasters are a hell of a lot more forgivable because the assets are all there. You're upscaling, you're increasing the resolution. You don't need a full team, and I'm not saying that it's easy work, but it's easier than ground up rebuilding. But again, to your point with Resident Evil, especially 2, that's an old ass game.
Yeah,
that's a PlayStation 1 game, guys. And it used the old tank controls, and I love the Resident Evil 2 remake. I started the third one, but kind of got out of it because I wasn't staying up super late. My son is around, and he wasn't, you know, wanting to watch me slaughter zombies. Now he does, though, so maybe we can both play it. And I'm looking forward to 4, sort of. It's older still, got it, but it already had the better control system over the shoulder, and I don't know. I don't know if I necessarily need Resident Evil 4 remake. I'll probably still get it, but
it works just because of the fact that at this point now you want kind of that remastered collection.
I wish they would redo the original, even though they did redo Resident Evil 1 on GameCube.
Yeah, that one. But yeah, the problem with that is that it got made so far back. But I mean, the new ones are going to have
tank controls, and
the new ones are going to have the same problem because you're going to re-release them for like PlayStation 5 and things like that. Yeah. And so they're going to be obviously better than the remakes of 2 and 3. But I mean, hey, whatever. That's just how graphics work. They just have to go with the time. And I think what I enjoy about that franchise in general right now is that we're also getting so we're getting these re-releases of some of our old favorite classics.
But you still get some new.
You get something new
ones.
Yeah, you get
Village
something new.
and Biohazard.
And it fills in that gap.
I hate the first person aspect, but yeah.
and it fills in that gap that you don't have, and so you're getting content. One which is done quicker because you, like you said, you have the assets, and the other one, new storytelling, and it just makes it for, you know, just a really well-rounded franchise. Yeah, you know what I want? I want I either want a re-release or something. I guess I could just go play the old one because they're not going to get any better. But like, can we do like Marvel versus Capcom again with like different characters?
Yeah, the last Infinite, it's been a few years, about 6 years or so, I think.
Yeah,
maybe a little more or a little less. It's time for a new one of those. And you know what? Like, there's games that some of you might not even recognize the title. Galerians. There's Parasite Eve. Those are 2 games that kind of pop out on my mind immediately. Zone of the Enders. There's a lot of games that I don't necessarily want to see remade, but I want to see the world and characters revisited in a direct sequel. Sure, maybe it's been 25 years. Maybe it's been 15 years since the game originally hit. Whatever. Why not just do a direct sequel? You know what I'm saying? Like, in that even, and then you put the original on whatever gaming service or like back catalog, PlayStation Plus or Game Pass or something like that. You put the original game back up on there, you know, from the GameCube, from from the PlayStation, from the original Xbox. If it's most of those are already on there, so Xbox isn't really a good example. But Nintendo, PC, PlayStation, some Sega games. Just do the direct sequel thing and give it an original title. Don't pull that Hollywood movie crap where we now have 3 frickin' movies called Halloween, including the direct sequel to Halloween being called Halloween. I hate you, Hollywood. I really, really do. Anyways, Manny, look at that, man. We filled up 35 minutes with video game talk.
Yeah, I'm speaking of Resident Evil real quick. I'm really excited for the DLC that's coming for Village. That's gonna close out that storyline, which is
always good
fun
to get closure. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, guys, you can find and I don't think we had any hot takes today, Manny. I mean, some people might be all about the remakes and stuff, but you know, we're saying some are okay.
What
some
can we say
okay
right now to piss people off?
No one listens to the very end, Manny.
This is true.
I got one. This piss off a lot of people. Very, 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 very very political. Pineapple does not belong on pizza. Hey,
not even a problem. That is absolutely true. Pineapple does not belong on a pizza. And if you think it does, unsubscribe right now, because you're not only wrong, you're stupid. And,
you're a horrible human being.
Yeah.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Hot take. Pineapple doesn't belong on pizza, and you guys are terrible.
Not.
You guys can find more awesome hot takes here on the Daily Cup of Genre on the Genreverse YouTube channel, wherever you also get your podcast from. If you want to listen in audio format, great shows like Review of the Rings, Daily COG, Breaking Geek, Marvel Multiverse Mayhem, the Cantina, Anime-Versal Reviews. We've also got some extra stuff that we do here on the YouTube channel, like AVR Squared, anime reactions, genre shot, trailer reactions, and I will be trying to stream again later on this week, and all of that, and written articles, news pieces, leaks, rumors, written reviews, celebrity interviews, all available at lrmonline.com. And those interviews, like our own Nancy talking to the old man, as those those of us that are Battlestar Galactica fans call him, Edward James Olmos, talking about the LFI and partnering with, was it Amazon, I think? Yeah, so some cool stuff we got going on the website. Social media information in front of you down below at that Malone on Twitter for myself. Manny, where can people find you at?
Find me at Manny Gomez Media on Twitter, and then you can find me also on riddle me this _510 on Instagram. The 2 spots to find me.
All right, guys, we will hopefully talk to you tomorrow. Bye.